Now, there's something else about this, Mark. I want you to look at the outlay column. The last year he was paying premiums. What do you see there?
160 total, and the net cash value.
Well, I want to about line 36. He's 65.
Oh, sorry, he's down at 65.
What did he pay that year? Somebody say 79,000. Well, what should he be paying, Bob? He should be paying 108, to be honest. He's taking peas out the back door, right, Nate?
Yep.
Well, why is he only paying
79.
79,000?
The loan's extinguished, there's nothing more you can put in it, it's maxed
The
out.
policy won't hold any more money.
Policy won't hold it anymore. Why?
Paid up at 65.
It's a lot paid at 65. He can't put any more money into it. All he can do is just pay off the balance out. That's all.
Tax free.
Well, that's taking these out the back door, isn't it, Stephen?
So we need to buy another policy.
Oh, God.
Amen.
How wonderful.
My God, you got it.
We have exercised the demons.
What was that, Jason?
I said, we have exercised the demons.
We need that recorded.
It's
IBC
recorded.
revival. He's been trying to get that through my head for years.
I heard you say yesterday when we were first kicking off that you needed to learn some things about the illustration. Is this a good time for me to ask you to tell me your problem?
You need a coach. I know all this, but I don't understand it. I just listen to Richard. Okay. You give me all the answers. I don't have to find them. I know they're right. You said it. You made it.
Knowledge is
So,
not
I
understanding.
answered specifically, you had a question, did you, or did you?
Yeah, I mean, I was leaning more towards, page 48, page 49 about expanding to encompass all income.
Oh, okay. We'll get there then, all right.
We'll get there, I know.
I just want to make sure that it wasn't in this section here, because this is the only section in my book that I used loans, that is all. This is the way I would always have somebody do it if I were in the insurance business.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I do have a question now that you brought it up, though.
All right.
Maybe I'm early because you're probably about to get to it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the last time I had you go through this with me for illustration 6
Mm-hmm.
and challenging your thinking. And that's really why you put this in here as an addendum.
Yes.
Are you going to go through that next?
Well, why not? It's a good time to do it. But,
I think it is. All right, good.
okay. So there's questions that come out there in people's minds about these illustrations are old and stuff like that. Interest rates aren't that good. Well, look, tell me, please, when interest goes down, what happens to the value of a bond?
It goes up.
Why? Why? The criteria of a bond is yield. All right, so if you're going to get that same yield and interest rates are low, then it takes more capital times this interest rate to produce this yield.
That's right.
Now, when interest rates go up, what happens to the value of a bond?
It goes down.
It goes down because it doesn't take as much money times this interest rate to produce that yield. Well, what are we putting in this policy to get it going, please?
Premium.
Well, how many years?
4.
Well, what would be wrong with 5 years instead of 4?
Nothing.
Nothing. More capital, that's all.
The more capital you put in, the
And
stronger
so
your system gets.
I said, in answer to those people that are having trouble with thinking that thing through, let's demonstrate this thing. Shucks. Let's capitalize this thing 5 years. And so that's in illustration 5 on page 62. Now, interest rates are down and all that sort of stuff. Big deal. But when he does that same financing there of the illustration 2 is what we're working from. I'm making a comparison here with 5 years of capitalizing the policy in illustration 2 with 4 years in illustration, go back there, first first truck that I illustrated, we capitalized it 4 years. Here is the same criteria financing one truck, but we capitalize in 5 years. That's all.
Okay.
Now, when we do that, we get down there to age 65. The cash value went up, didn't it? 3.5. No, doggone it. I'm sorry, Richard, you have messed up my mind.
You have that effect on you.
I haven't gone through this in a while. This is comparison with illustration 5, rather. Oh, isn't it? 5 and 6 is, yeah. Okay. And so in illustration 5, 2.5 million at age 65. Now 3.5 million at age 65. Well, what is it when you capitalize at 5 years at a lower dividend scale and so forth? 3.5 million? Well, does this make sense? But what the life insurance agents, what do they conclude when they see all these things? Oh, the young numbers are not valid, whatnot. Well, somebody doesn't understand about creating a business, do they? The more you capitalize the business, the stronger it is. Good grief. Anybody knows that. Why would anybody reluctant to pay a premium? Well, let me ask you another question. Mary's got a premium due when we get back, whatnot. It's $7,000. And when we pay that premium, what happens in the cash values and death benefits?
Well,
Oh, the dividend's about $7,000 in itself. Now, why would I be reluctant to pay another premium? But that's not the mindset that prevails out there, is it?
page 85, point number 2.
Yeah. Okay.
People struggle with the cost and where they're gonna get the money
Yeah.
at that time.
At that time,
Yeah.
The government will give it to you. Social Security, you just use it to pay the
I'm
premium.
not with you.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
so people at that age, you know, their mindset is they're not working anymore. And so where's the money coming from?
Well, tell me whoa.
So-
You talking about this illustration?
Yeah, so, or any.
I don't see any premiums out there at 65.
No, but I mean, I'm just making a comment of, you know, we talk to people about why, the comment was, why would you stop capitalizing it? Right?
No, you were talking about your policy of $7,000 that you.
Yeah.
And the dividend was the same.
Oh, yeah, but what I'm asking is, if I move $7,000 from a checking account over here, why would I object to moving money from there to here?
You shouldn't.
Well, I don't. I mean, right, the greatest thing at all.
You can take it back out again if you need.
Precisely.
Your Social Security.
But the
You
comment
loan it
is
out.
that people do better, that's just the mindset.
I have a plan.
Right.
Yeah, but again,
They've got a supplement.
we're just trying to get the mindset readjusted. That's why the bicycle message is so vital.
That's, you see, it's ideas.
Meanwhile, the state wants to expand the CPP.
Yeah. Okay, here's a question now. How can we expand on this system? Isn't it obvious that we need to buy $84,000 premium per year here? Huh? Huh?
I do.
Isn't that obvious?
I do.
Okay, well, how else can we improve this situation? Let's go back to equipment financing page. That's on page 56. Casually gaze at that page. Tell me what one item occupies 30% of the page. One item on this
Insurance.
page.
Insurance.
What kind of insurance?
Property casualty,
Yes, and what's the first word?
required physical
Well,
damage.
what does required mean?
You don't have a choice, you gotta get it.
If you want this financing, you have got to buy comprehensive collision to protect us, not liability. Y'all understand that? Liability protects the individual who buys this equipment against a loss of somebody else's life or property or something like that. That is not a requirement of the finance company. The other stuff is. Now, look at the items on that section of the page. NA, M/A. What does that mean?
Not relevant.
Well, question. Does the does the Peterbilt company want to sell this truck and make a commission?
Yes.
Does the dealership fill out this Mickey Mouse paperwork and earn a fee?
Yes.
Associates does not fill out this stuff. Associates give dealerships reams of forms. You fill out the paperwork, we'll pay you to do so. It's better than having employees, benefits and so forth. Now, the fee is enough to make it attractive to the dealers. Now, does the dealership want to sell this required insurance and make another commission?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Does the finance company want to finance all that premium of the insurance plus the truck?
Yes.
You bet.
But they cannot make him do business with their insurance company, can they?
No.
Tie and say. All the pages, all the blanks read M/A. So what does that mean?
You didn't take it from them.
That's right. It's required, but not from them. Terry, who is your carrier? Liberty Mutual. Son, what are they charging you? He just paid it last month. Wheels around in his chair, pulls out the file drawer, pulls out the file and gives it to me. Folks, it was $2,100 per year, per truck, for $1,000 deductible. Nate, if anything happened to any one of his trucks, he's got to pay the first $1,000.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask y'all something. Have y'all ever seen a logging truck in a body shop? Basically, it doesn't happen. But the finance company requires it, see, to protect the AIC.
Protect the asset.
All right, so when he pays $8,400 a year for $1,000 deductible each, y'all got that arithmetic there?
Yes.
He pays $8,400 a year to Liberty Mutual. What in the world did Liberty Mutual do with that money?
You gotta lend it to somebody to give back to
Yeah,
associates.
but not to charity.
Yeah.
They lend it out somewhere, but not to charity. Do y'all realize that once you get a whole bunch of cash values, you can self-insure on lots of things out there that are just absolute waste effort. All right. So, with that in mind, I like to do these seminars, Will, 2 hours one day and 8 hours the next. I like people to sleep on that first 2 hours to let it digest a little bit and so forth.
Get the demons out.
Yeah, get the demons. That's society. All right. So when Mary's not with me, going back, when I get through that first 2 hours at night, when I go back to the hotel room to wind down, I have been known to turn on the idiot box and just see what's going on to just wind down. I do not watch Sci-Fi Channel. Now, I was channel surfing several years ago, and I stopped on Sci-Fi Channel for some reason or another, because it was all about spacemen and Martians and stuff like that. It intrigued me, and I watched the whole doggone show. Well, let's go back to illustration 5, and I will look at year 12 there, $365,000 in that cash base. Back up one page.
Yep, 365,000.
You got $365,000 in cash pay right there, right?
Yep.
Now, Stephen, suppose the Martians come one night in one of the spaceships. You know, they got these ray guns that we don't stand a chance against the Martians. We're doomed. Well, there's 2 guys in this spaceship, And one of them sees a Terry's logging truck out there, and they have no earthly idea what a logging truck is about. He says, "Zap!" That truck is now a molten pile of metal and rubber.
Yeah.
And that qualifies the definition of total loss. You can't reconstruct that.
No.
All Terry's got to do is he called Richard and said, "Richard, you ain't gonna believe it. Mark just came last night and got one of my trucks." If you turn on the TV, you'll see all about it in the news. Send me some money to buy a new truck. And you know that is very complicated activity. Tell Richard to get me some money. Why do people behave the way they do? All right, anybody got any questions about equipment financing? Now, y'all listen to Bob because he said something very profound this morning. In this whole concept, the most important factor is you guys. The public out there has got to have a coach. They've got to have a coach. They've got to have somebody that hold them by the hand and guide them through all this stuff, and to get them when they, listening to the noise that's out there, and they, run off in the ditches on that straightaway, get them back in the corral and the horse area, and so forth. The coach is the most important thing. You should know this sort of stuff up one side and down the other, and perform the function of coach. And if you do, you're going to get paid very, very well. I mean, you help the entire world when you get that banking function down at the UB level. Now, it's minuscule, but so what? Add it all up out there, and it's attainable. Again, the goal of the Nelson Nash Institute is to get 10% of the financial people to understand this story and to put it into practice in their lives. And again, when you get to that point, it's a scientific fact that the idea goes viral. People quit thinking the way that they used to think, and they quit behaving the way that they used to behave.